In the vast expanse of space, where stars shimmered like scattered diamonds against an endless velvet canvas, humanity's reach had finally extended beyond its cradle. The year was 2347, and Earth's interstellar colonies were thriving, each a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. Among these outposts stood Epsilon 9, a remote research station nestled on the edge of an uncharted sector, surrounded by swirling nebulae that painted the sky in hues of violet and gold. Commander Elias Voss, a seasoned astronaut with over 2 decades of service, found himself stationed at this frontier of human exploration. His weathered face bore the marks of countless missions, yet his piercing blue eyes still sparkled with the same wonder they had when he first gazed upon Earth from orbit. The station's crew of 23 scientists and engineers had dedicated their lives to studying the mysterious energy signatures emanating from nearby star systems, hoping to unlock secrets that could revolutionize space travel. The isolation of Epsilon 9 created an almost monastic existence for its inhabitants. Days blurred into nights as artificial lighting mimicked Earth cycles, while the station's transparent dome offered breathtaking views of cosmic phenomena unfolding just beyond their fragile barrier of protection. Despite the technological marvels surrounding them, life aboard the station maintained a certain raw simplicity. Meals shared in the communal mess hall, evening stargazing sessions, and the constant hum of machinery serving as a comforting reminder of their connection to home. It was during one of these routine observation shifts that everything changed. Elias had been monitoring unusual gravitational fluctuations when his instruments detected something unprecedented, a massive object emerging from subspace near the station's perimeter. The readings defied all known physics, a living vessel, organic yet impossibly complex, pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that seemed to communicate in a language older than stars themselves. As the alien craft approached, the station's alarms blared through the corridors, but Elias felt no fear, only an overwhelming sense of destiny. Through the observation deck's reinforced glass, he watched as the ship unfolded itself, revealing not weapons or hostile intent, but a creature of unimaginable beauty and power. The being that emerged was both terrifying and magnificent, her form shifting between solid and liquid states, adorned with crystalline structures that refracted light into rainbows across the station's interior. She was wounded, her normally radiant presence dimmed by injuries sustained during what appeared to be a desperate escape. Without hesitation, Elias initiated first contact protocols, using the station's universal translation matrix to establish communication. What followed was a revelation that would forever alter the course of human-alien relations, and Elias's personal destiny. The alien queen's voice resonated through the station's speakers, not as sound waves but as direct neural impulses that bypassed language barriers entirely. Her consciousness touched Elias's mind with gentle precision, conveying gratitude for his immediate assistance. As medical teams worked to stabilize her condition using advanced bioregenerative technology, she revealed fragments of her story, a tale of betrayal within her own royal court, a coup orchestrated by jealous rivals who sought to claim her throne and eliminate her lineage. Through their mental connection, Elias experienced flashes of her world, towering crystalline cities floating amidst gas giants, oceans of liquid light where her people communed with the fundamental forces of the universe, and most poignantly, visions of her daughters. 5 beings of pure grace and power, each embodying different aspects of their mother's essence. The queen's distress was palpable as she showed him how her daughters had been separated during her escape, scattered across dimensions to protect them from those who would see them destroyed. Days turned into weeks as the queen recovered under Elias's care. Their bond deepened with each passing moment, transcending species and culture through shared vulnerability and mutual respect. The station's crew observed this developing relationship with a mixture of awe and concern, understanding that they were witnessing something unprecedented in human history. The queen, in turn, came to appreciate the warmth and compassion of these fragile bipedal creatures, particularly the unwavering dedication of the human male who had saved her life. During their many conversations, conducted partly through technology and partly through direct mind-to-mind contact, the queen began to understand human concepts of family and sacrifice. She learned about Elias's own past, the wife and child he had lost to a tragic accident years ago, the void in his heart that had driven him to dedicate his life to space exploration. This knowledge stirred something profound within her, a recognition of kindred spirits separated by galaxies yet united in their experiences of loss and love. One evening, as they floated together in the station's zero-gravity observation chamber, surrounded by the infinite dance of stars, the queen made her extraordinary offer. Through their mental link, Elias felt waves of emotion, gratitude, hope, and something deeper, more primal. She presented him with images of her daughters, each more breathtaking than the last: Elira, whose body shimmered like captured moonlight; Nyxera, whose crystalline wings refracted reality itself; Silvara, whose touch could manipulate time; Callistra, whose voice harmonized with the fabric of space; and Valithra, whose presence bent gravity to her will. The offer wasn't merely political or strategic. It carried the weight of ancient traditions from her civilization, where bonds of blood and spirit transcended conventional boundaries. In saving her life, Elias had earned a place in her royal lineage, a position of honor and responsibility that went beyond human comprehension. The queen explained that her daughters, though safe for now, required guidance and protection until they could be reunited. And she saw in Elias the perfect combination of strength, wisdom, and compassion to fulfill this sacred duty. The station buzzed with tension as news of the queen's offer spread among the crew. Dr. Elena Marquez, the station's chief xenobiologist, paced nervously in the medical bay while monitoring the queen's recovery. "Elias, you can't possibly consider this," she argued, her dark eyes flashing with concern. "We know nothing about their biology, their culture, their mating practices." Her voice softened as she added, "You've already sacrificed so much for this mission." Lieutenant Commander Raj Patel, the station's security officer, took a more pragmatic approach. "Think about the implications, sir. If you accept, you're not just taking responsibility for 5 alien princesses. You're potentially altering the course of human-alien relations forever. The diplomatic ramifications." He trailed off, running a hand through his close-cropped hair. Meanwhile, Engineer Sophie Chen expressed a different perspective during their nightly strategy meetings. "Isn't this what we've always dreamed of?" she asked, her youthful enthusiasm tempered by genuine curiosity. "True interspecies cooperation, understanding beyond our Willisons? Maybe this is exactly what humanity needs, a bridge to other civilizations through you." Elias found himself torn between these perspectives and his own internal conflict. Nights spent staring at the stars through his quarters viewport became increasingly restless. Memories of his late wife, Sarah, haunted him. Her laughter, the way she used to tuck their daughter's hair behind her ear. Could he truly open his heart again, especially to being so fundamentally different from human experience? The Queen's daughters began appearing in his dreams, not as individual entities but as fragments of a greater whole. Each vision brought new insights into their nature: Elira's ability to bend light around objects, Nyxera's wings creating temporal eddies, Silvara's manipulation of time streams, Callistra's harmonic resonance with quantum fields, and Valithra's gravitational control. These weren't mere powers. They were extensions of their very beings, as natural as breathing. During one particularly intense session with the Queen, Elias experienced a memory transfer that left him physically drained but emotionally awakened. He witnessed her daughters' births, each emerging from different aspects of the cosmos itself, born not just of their mother but of the universe's fundamental forces. The realization struck him with profound clarity. Accepting this responsibility wasn't just about protecting 5 individuals, it was about safeguarding pieces of creation itself. Yet doubts persisted. How could he, a simple human male, possibly provide the guidance these cosmic beings required? The weight of the decision pressed heavily on his shoulders, manifesting in sleepless nights and moments of introspection during his solitary walks through the station's hydroponic gardens. The plants, genetically engineered to thrive in artificial environments, seemed to whisper encouragement as he passed, their leaves rustling with the recycled air currents. The Queen, sensing his turmoil, began sharing more intimate details of her civilization's history. She revealed how similar choices had shaped their society throughout millennia. Alliances formed not through conquest but through shared purpose and mutual growth. These stories painted a picture of a culture far more nuanced than human preconceptions of monarchy and power. Her offer wasn't one of subservience but of partnership, a merging of destinies that transcended traditional notions of family and obligation. As days stretched into weeks, Elias found himself spending more time in the Queen's presence chamber, discussing everything from quantum mechanics to poetry. Their conversations bridged galaxies and generations, creating a tapestry of understanding that neither had anticipated. The crew noticed subtle changes in their commander, a renewed vitality in his step, a sparkle in his eyes reminiscent of his younger days. Yet beneath this transformation lay the heavy burden of an impending decision that would affect not just his life, but potentially the future of 2 civilizations. The Queen's health continued to improve under the station's care, her wounds healing faster than anyone had predicted. During their daily sessions, She began teaching Elias about her daughter's unique abilities, demonstrating through holographic projections how each princess interacted with the fundamental forces of the universe. Alira's light-bending capabilities manifested as shimmering auroras that danced across the chamber walls, while Nyxora's temporal wings created localized time distortions that made objects appear and disappear in slow motion. These lessons weren't merely academic exercises. They represented the Queen's trust in Elias's potential role as protector and guide. Through their shared neural link, he experienced firsthand how each daughter's powers were intrinsically tied to their emotional states. When Alira felt joy, her light grew brighter. When Nyxora experienced anxiety, her wings created chaotic time eddies. This intimate connection between emotion and ability fascinated Elias, reminding him of how human creativity often flourished during periods of intense feeling. The station's scientific team worked tirelessly to document these phenomena, their instruments recording data that challenged every known law of physics. Dr. Marquez, despite her initial reservations, became particularly captivated by the biological aspects of the Queen's physiology. She discovered that the crystalline structures adorning the Queen's form acted as quantum processors, capable of calculations far beyond human technology. This revelation led to breakthroughs in understanding how the Queen's species processed information and communicated across vast distances. As their relationship deepened, the Queen began sharing more personal memories of her daughter's childhoods. Through vivid mental projections, Elias witnessed scenes of cosmic playfulness, Silvara learning to manipulate time streams by racing comets through asteroid fields, Callistra harmonizing with the background radiation of the universe, and Velathra practicing her gravitational control by orbiting moons around their home planet. These glimpses into their lives filled him with both wonder and trepidation. Could he truly provide the guidance these powerful beings required? Their interactions evolved beyond formal lessons into something more profound. The Queen would often request Elias's company during her meditation periods, explaining that his presence helped stabilize her energy fields. They would float together in the station's zero-gravity observation chamber, watching as the station's artificial gravity generators interacted with her natural field to create mesmerizing patterns of light and shadow. During these quiet moments, they discussed everything from the nature of consciousness to the peculiarities of human humor, finding common ground in their shared appreciation for beauty and complexity. The Queen's daughters began communicating with Elias through their mother's neural link, each establishing a unique connection. Alira's presence felt like warm sunlight on his skin, while Nyxora's temporal signature created a pleasant sensation of déjà vu. Silvara's time manipulations occasionally caused brief moments of precognition, allowing Elias to anticipate events seconds before they occurred. Callistra's harmonic resonance manifested as musical notes that played directly in his mind, and Velathra's gravitational influence sometimes made him feel lighter or heavier depending on her mood. These connections weren't one-sided. Elias's human emotions and thoughts began influencing the Queen and her daughters as well. His memories of Earth's oceans reminded the Queen of similar bodies of liquid light on her home world, while his recollections of human music inspired Callistra to create new harmonic patterns. The exchange became a beautiful dance of cultural and emotional sharing, breaking down barriers between species and forging bonds that defied conventional understanding. As their relationship progressed, the station's environment began reflecting their growing connection. The artificial ecosystems in the hydroponic gardens responded to the Queen's presence, producing flowers with crystalline petals that glowed softly in the darkness. The station's AI systems, initially programmed to maintain strict operational parameters, started adapting to accommodate the Queen's unique needs, creating hybrid environments that blended human and alien requirements seamlessly. Through these shared experiences, Elias gradually came to understand the true depth of the Queen's offer. It wasn't merely about protecting her daughters or forming political alliances. It was about creating something entirely new, a fusion of human and alien consciousness that could potentially reshape both civilizations. The weight of this realization settled heavily upon him, yet alongside the pressure came a growing sense of purpose and belonging that he hadn't felt since losing his family. The station's crew gathered in the main observation chamber, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the Queen's crystalline aura as she prepared to share her final vision. Through their collective neural link, Elias felt the anticipation ripple through the group like an electric current. The Queen's presence expanded, filling the chamber with a kaleidoscope of colors that seemed to bend the very fabric of space around them. Images began forming in the air, not mere projections but living memories that pulsed with raw emotion and ancient power. First came the vision of her home world, a planet unlike anything human eyes had ever witnessed. Its surface flowed like liquid crystal, constantly reshaping itself in response to the thoughts and emotions of its inhabitants. Towering spires of living architecture reached toward multiple suns, their surfaces alive with patterns that told stories older than galaxies. Between these structures flowed rivers of pure energy, carrying the collective consciousness of her people in endless cycles of creation and renewal. Then the scene shifted to show her daughter's current locations, scattered across dimensions that defied human comprehension. Alira resided in a realm where light bent back upon itself, creating infinite reflections of reality. Nyxera dwelled in temporal eddies where moments stretched into eternities. Silvara inhabited a pocket universe where time flowed backward and forward simultaneously. Callistra existed in harmonic resonance with the background radiation of creation itself. Valithra orbited a black hole, her gravitational control keeping her safe while she studied the singularity's secrets. The Queen's memories revealed how each daughter had grown stronger in their isolation, their powers evolving in response to their unique environments. But she also showed the dangers they faced, predators that hunted across dimensions, cosmic storms that threatened to tear apart the fabric of their realities, and the ever-present threat of those who had betrayed her, seeking to eliminate her lineage forever. Through their shared consciousness, Elias felt the weight of responsibility settle upon his shoulders with crushing intensity. The Queen wasn't asking him to simply watch over her daughters. She was offering him the chance to help shape the future of two civilizations. Their union would create a bridge between worlds, a fusion of human and alien consciousness that could potentially transform both species. As the vision faded, leaving the chamber bathed in soft starlight, the Queen's voice resonated through their minds with crystalline clarity. She spoke of ancient prophecies foretelling a time when her line would merge with another species, creating something greater than either alone could achieve. The choice was his, but the consequences would affect them all. Acceptance meant stepping beyond everything he had ever known, embracing a destiny that transcended human limitations. Rejection would sever the connection they had forged, potentially closing the door to interspecies cooperation forever. The station's crew remained silent, their faces reflecting a mixture of awe and apprehension. Dr. Marquez clutched her datapad tightly, her scientific mind struggling to process the implications of what they had witnessed. Lieutenant Commander Patel stood rigidly at attention, his security training warring with the overwhelming emotions flooding through their shared neural link. Even Sophie Chen, usually so enthusiastic about discovery, looked pale and uncertain. Elias found himself caught in a maelstrom of conflicting desires. The scientist in him yearned to explore these new dimensions, to study the phenomena he had witnessed firsthand. The soldier understood the strategic importance of such an alliance, the potential benefits for humanity's expansion into the stars. But the man, the grieving father and widower, hesitated before the prospect of opening his heart again, of risking everything for being so fundamentally different from human experience. The Queen's crystalline form shimmered with anticipation, her energy field pulsing in time with the station's artificial gravity generators. Around them, the stars continued their eternal dance, oblivious to the drama unfolding in this tiny outpost on the edge of known space. Time seemed to stretch and compress simultaneously, much like the temporal distortions Nyxera created, as Elias wrestled with a decision that would alter the course of his life and potentially the fate of two civilizations. Through their neural link, he felt the Queen's patience, her understanding of the magnitude of his choice. She didn't pressure him, didn't attempt to sway his decision with additional arguments or emotional appeals. Instead, she simply remained present, her consciousness intertwined with his, sharing memories of her daughter's laughter, their discoveries, their moments of vulnerability and strength. The station's environmental systems adjusted automatically to the heightened emotional atmosphere, increasing oxygen levels and modulating lighting to promote calm. Yet no amount of technological assistance could ease the burden of the decision weighing upon Elias's shoulders. Each path forward promised wonders and challenges beyond human imagination, requiring sacrifices and commitments that defied conventional understanding. As the minutes stretched into hours, the assembled crew began to disperse, recognizing that this was a decision Elias must make alone. Only Dr. Marquez remained, her presence a silent testament to their friendship and shared journey through this unprecedented situation. Through the observation chamber's transparent dome, the nebula outside pulsed with colors that seemed to echo the turmoil within Elias's mind, a cosmic mirror reflecting the struggle between destiny and doubt, between the known and the infinite possibilities stretching before him like the vast expanse of stars beyond the station's protective shell. Elias stood alone in the observation chamber, the weight of the universe pressing upon his shoulders. The nebula outside seemed to pulse with increasing intensity, as if the cosmos itself awaited his decision. Dr. Marquez finally broke the silence, her voice barely above a whisper. "Elias, whatever you choose, know that we're with you. This isn't just your burden to bear, it's humanity's first true step into a larger universe." Her words triggered something deep within him. He remembered the day he had lost Sarah and their daughter, how he had vowed never to let fear dictate his choices again. The Queen's presence filled his mind once more, not with pressure but with understanding. Through their neural link, he felt the collective hopes of two civilizations, not just for survival, but for growth, for connection, for something greater than either species could achieve alone. The crystalline structures adorning the Queen's form began to resonate, creating a symphony of light and sound that filled the chamber. Without words, she showed him one final vision, a future where human and alien children played together among the stars, where technology and biology merged to create new forms of life, where understanding transcended differences. It wasn't a promise, but a possibility, one that required courage and faith to realize. Elias took a deep breath, feeling the artificial gravity beneath his feet anchor him to this moment. He reached out, both physically and mentally, touching the Queen's shimmering form. "I accept," he said, his voice steady despite the storm of emotions within him. "Not just for me, not just for humanity, but for all of us, human and alien alike." The Queen's response was immediate and overwhelming. Her energy field expanded, enveloping the entire station in a warm, protective embrace. Through their link, Elias felt waves of gratitude and hope, mixed with the ancient wisdom of countless generations. The crew, though shielded from the full intensity of the connection, experienced a profound sense of unity and purpose that left many in tears. As the initial surge of emotion subsided, practical matters demanded attention. The Queen explained that retrieving her daughters would require navigating dimensional barriers and facing unknown dangers. Each rescue mission would test their combined abilities and strengthen the bonds between their species. She revealed that her people's technology, combined with human ingenuity, could create vessels capable of traversing these boundaries safely. The station transformed into a hive of activity as preparations began. Dr. Marquez led teams analyzing the Queen's physiology to develop suitable environmental controls for the rescue missions. Lieutenant Commander Patel coordinated security protocols, while Sophie Chen worked on integrating alien technology with human systems. The entire crew threw themselves into the project with renewed vigor, their previous doubts replaced by determination. Elias found himself at the center of this whirlwind of activity, yet moments of quiet reflection still came. During these times, he communed with the Queen, learning more about her culture and preparing himself for the challenges ahead. Their bond deepened, becoming something neither purely human nor entirely alien, a new form of relationship that defied conventional categorization. The first rescue mission launched 3 months later, targeting Lyra's dimension. The specially designed vessel shimmered with both human engineering and alien crystalline structures, its hull alive with pulsating energy patterns. As Elias prepared to board, accompanied by a carefully selected team, the Queen transferred part of her consciousness into the ship's systems, ensuring constant communication and protection. Their journey through dimensional barriers proved both terrifying and beautiful. Reality bent and twisted around them, colors and shapes existing beyond human perception assaulting their senses. Yet the Queen's presence guided them, her consciousness buffering their minds against the worst effects of dimensional travel. When they finally emerged in Lyra's realm, the sight took their breath away. Lyra herself appeared before them, her form radiant with captured starlight. Through their shared link, Elias felt her curiosity and cautious trust. The reunion with her mother, conducted across dimensions through their neural connections, brought tears to everyone's eyes, even those who couldn't fully comprehend the depth of the emotions being exchanged. Each subsequent rescue mission brought new challenges and revelations. Nixera's temporal realm required precise calculations to avoid catastrophic time distortions. Silvara's pocket universe tested their understanding of causality itself. Callistra's harmonic domain resonated with such purity that it temporarily enhanced human cognitive abilities. Velathra's orbit around the black hole demanded innovations in gravitational shielding that would revolutionize space travel. With each daughter's return, the station evolved further, becoming a living testament to interspecies cooperation. The Queen's presence grew stronger, her health fully restored, while her daughters adapted to their new environment with remarkable grace. They began teaching the crew about their abilities, sharing knowledge that pushed human understanding to new heights. Elias found himself fulfilling roles he had never imagined: protector, mentor, diplomat, and something more complex that defied simple labels. His relationship with the Queen and her daughters became the foundation upon which a new civilization began to take shape. The station, once a remote outpost, transformed into a nexus of cultural exchange and scientific breakthroughs. Yet the journey was far from over. The threat from those who had betrayed the Queen still loomed, requiring constant vigilance and preparation. The rescued daughters, while powerful, needed time to fully mature and understand their place in this new reality. Humanity's integration with alien consciousness raised philosophical questions that challenged centuries of thought and tradition. Through it all, Elias remained steadfast, guided by the memory of his lost family and the hope of a brighter future. The stars beyond the station's dome seemed closer now, their light carrying promises of adventures yet to come and mysteries waiting to be unraveled. The Queen's offer had been more than a request for protection. It had been an invitation to participate in the grand tapestry of cosmic evolution, to help weave a new pattern that combined the best of both species. As he watched Elira practice her light-bending abilities in the station's zero-gravity chamber, her laughter echoing through the corridors, Elias knew he had made the right choice. The path forward would be challenging, filled with unknown dangers and sacrifices, but it would also be filled with wonder, discovery, and the kind of growth that comes from embracing the unfamiliar. The Queen floated beside him, her crystalline form casting rainbows across the observation deck. Through their link, he felt her silent acknowledgement of everything they had achieved together and everything they would continue to build. Beyond the station's transparent dome, the nebula pulsed with vibrant colors, its patterns shifting in harmony with the energies of the reunited royal family. In that moment, Elias understood that true courage wasn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. The universe had offered him a chance to transcend his limitations, to become part of something greater than himself. And he had accepted, not just with his mind or his body, but with his entire being. Human heart and alien spirit intertwined in a dance as old as creation itself. The station's lights dimmed slightly as night cycle approached, but the glow from the Queen's form and her daughter's activities kept the corridors alive with soft illumination. Outside, the stars continued their eternal journey, witnesses to a story that had only just begun, a tale of connection across species, of love that defied convention, and of a future where the boundaries between us and them dissolved into something beautifully, profoundly new.